Yeah. Hello, good afternoon. We exit the tournament today, and for Russia it's been a huge success for us to have late inclusion into the tournament, and the way we've prepared and organised ourselves ready for supersonic rugby at Tier 1 is all credit to our players. Level Tier 1 rugby is not another level, it's another sport for Tier 2 teams. Fast, furious, error-free, and the referee never blows his whistle. So it's always going to be a challenge for us. And I thought today Scotland played really well. They got the tactics right, put the ball behind us, and then pressured our exit strategies, and got their rewards. And then, you know, we've played 3 massive games for us, and today was always going to be difficult. We knew that. And fair play to Scotland. They put the ball around and played with a speed and a tempo and a support and grew in confidence into the game. C'est la vie.
Okay, we'll take the first question.
To Lin, so when you took on this Russian job, your first mission was take the Russian rugby to the next level for the 2023 World Cup. So how much did this World Cup serve to achieve your objective?
It fell into the lap by accident. It's absolutely been a huge challenge. We knew exactly what was in front of us and the type of player we needed to train, to recruit, to sign, to select, ready for us. I think that what we've achieved in understanding and creating habits of the ABCs of rugby is obviously the solid solid set piece, kicking strategies and defence. We've worked really hard on that, and you know, we've got a little bit of way to go now on in regards to our attack, but that will come in good time. I think that the experience for the players is just invaluable. We're a very young side out today, and a majority of the time will be available in 2023, and we can only get better. We've seen great stories from Uruguay and other Tier 2 nations who've learned and grown from difficult tournaments in 2011, 2015, and no more than Japan. And we're going to benefit from this, and we're going to get better. We've got some good players, some talented players, and we look forward to the future with some optimism. Thank you for the question.
Just still getting translation. Okay.
Lynn, Lewis, Stewart, just in case you were forgetting. How far do you think Russia can go with the base that you put together in this World Cup?
Good question. I first did an interview with Lewis in 1984, believe it or not, and here he is today. And here am I. I think the physical potential in Russia is unlimited. It's if we decided to take it seriously, as the signs within the union are so, then who knows what can be achieved. It's a sleeping bear, it's a sleeping giant, and we just need to shake it awake and just watch the potential that comes from this tournament. Look, the small things that we just haven't got time to work on. We're just working on the big macro skills to get ourselves presentable for this tournament has been good for us. The next step for us now is the small bits and dealing with pressure, how to pressure, and just moving the ball that one little pass extra, which is the sign of ability. So we've come a long way, Lewis, to be honest with you. And if we'd have played this tournament 12 months ago, we would have been blown out of the water. But playing 4 big games in a short period of time is, I think, it's just commendable to the Russian players who've stood up and represented the nation as best they can and with pride.
Sorry, just hold. We're just still getting.
Hi, Lynn. Having faced Japan and now Scotland, how do you see that match up in the final tournament? Who would you say has got the advantage from games you've seen?
Well, I think the games that we've played against Japan and Scotland have zero comparison in regards to the occasion. The motivation on the first night on the 20th of September was massive for both sides. And so, look, Japan are an incredibly difficult side to play against. And I think that we did well against them from understanding how they work from a year ago. I think that Scotland have speed and skill that if they can put a pace and get outside Japan, then anything can happen. However, Japan are just so well organised, so drilled, and so frantic in their defence. I just, it's going to be a hell of a game. It's going to be a hell of a game. And if I had 10 yen to put on it, not that I do because I'm a very poor man, I really wouldn't know who to go. It's going to be a really tight game on the night. Oh, I can't say that, can I? I'm out of the tournament now, so...
キャプテンにお伺いします。日経新聞の谷口です。2つありまして、1つは今回の大会を終えて、ロシア多くの選手が引退するというふうに言われてますけれども、キャプテン自身はどういうふうにお考えなのかということと、もう一つは今回のワールドカップがロシアのラグビーにとってどういった、意味合いが、どういう成果があったかというのを教えてください。
To answer the first question, yes, there's a few guys who are, pushing, mid-30s in the team, and they probably, be looking to retire at least from the international duties. Quite soon. Myself personally, I think I still feel good about playing. I don't look as far away as 2023. I think it's it's a bit too early to look that far. But we go home now with a Russian championship, actually, believe it or not, to complete in October, playing for our clubs, and get some rest in November. And after that, I think we can reassess. And it's you make those decisions when you have some downtime. But I feel good about continuing, and I think with Lin and his team. Working with us, I think there's a lot of excitement in this squad. And there's a lot of potential as well. So, I'd really like to play in the team with excitement and potential. It really, gives you another drive and motivation. The second question, what do we take from the tournament? I think we take huge experience. We take, we've experienced firsthand Tier 1 rugby, as Lynn liked to call it, a different game. So we've played a different game. And we've played it, we've played it quite well at times. I think we've made a name for the Russian rugby team as a dedicated and as a tough nut to break for any team. Again, playing tonight, it was a difficult task. It was always 4 games in a row. We're pushing ourselves to our limits. We've had a really positive start. Opening 10-15 minutes defending for our lives and really getting some progress, but then as Lynn mentioned, Scotland played really good game plan. It was a real masterclass from kicking perspective and from counter-attacking. So yeah, you gotta love the game. It's really easy to love the game when everything is going fine, when everything is flowing, when you're on top of the wave. It's really tough. It's difficult to love it when things are getting tough. And I think we have a good environment in the team and in the squad now. I think everybody loves it. Everybody loves playing and pushing themselves to the limits. I think that's it's one of the most important things to look forward for new challenges. And
It's just a shame with so many games played and so many games to look forward to. This World Cup will only be remembered for one thing, and that's the moustache.
November is coming soon as well, so everybody will be wearing them.
Shave
soon.
it off now.
Okay, last question.
Vasily, just in terms of the future development of Russian rugby, do you think it might be better if perhaps people follow what you did and go offshore at a younger age, or do you think the development pathways are better in Russia?
Yeah, there's different ways to develop talent. You know, we're quite isolated in Russia, believe it or not. It's not easy. It's not that easy to go and travel abroad at a younger age. You know, to study abroad. And I did start my rugby playing in Russia, so you know I've got all my basic skills. And up to the age of 15, I was living in Russia and playing my rugby there. So you know, you do learn the basics of rugby from up until about 12 or 13. So you know, I've already had those at the time. We do need to promote this idea that you know, if a player is talented enough and if he's got dedication, he needs to strive to play at the top level possible. It's just we don't get that much exposure. It's difficult to get exposure when you're young talented Russian player. So the clubs abroad can actually look at you and see you play. Hopefully this tournament gave a chance to a number of players to get exposed, and I know they're really keen to be playing their rugby at the top level possible, and the dedication and fire in those guys' eyes will take them far. I don't know if that answers your question. So hopefully, we get more exposure. More exposure will bring more interest, and but the Russian rugby can't just develop on sending players abroad. We need to develop our game domestically as well. We need to look after the underage groups from quite an early age as well. They need to be on the same course to become a member of the national team at some point. And I know Lynn has been doing some work in that department as well. So if we have the system right, it's only a matter of time until the progress is made.
Good question. It's a really important question because those are the fundamentals of Tier 2 teams really trying to strive to break through to the top part of the game. Finished? Yeah. Thank you very much, everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure for everybody in Russia to be here and to enjoy the tournament in Japan. It's been a huge success so far, and we sincerely hope that it moves forward and we'll see a Scotland-Japan final. Although I'm not putting any money on it. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Safe travels. Thank you.